What's going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody for tuning in to Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we're talking about the Vikings potentially screwing over the NFL with this Christmas Day game against the Detroit Lions. It's going to be ugly, and I promise you the NFL is pissed. And then on the second half of today's show, want to have some fun, get in the holiday spirit here, and go over a naughty or nice list for a couple of key players and coaches on the Minnesota Vikings. But why is the NFL pissed? Because the NFL can't be happy that Max Brosmer is starting on Christmas Day. Honestly, all three of these games during the Christmas slate for the NFL are absolutely horrible, and especially Netflix. They cannot be happy that Max Brosmer is starting over J.J. McCarthy on Christmas Day. Because, even though like the Vikings-Lions game, not a whole lot of juice with the Vikings being eliminated from playoff contention, but it would have a lot more juice if J.J. McCarthy was playing in that game compared to Max Brosmer. And these two games being the games on Netflix, they got to be absolutely furious. It's going to be Josh Johnson of the Washington Commanders probably starting at quarterback that game, taking on the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. I have no interest in watching that. And then you got the Vikings versus the Lions. Now, yes, both these games are divisional rivals. You got a big market like the Cowboys. Lions and Vikings, about middle of the pack markets, but still not good. And plus the quarterback play, getting Max Brosmer and Josh Johnson taking on Dak Prescott and Jared Goff. For Dak and Jared Goff are solid quarterbacks, but the guys on the other side of the field, obviously not that good. And, think about this Vikings-Lions game on prime time is just how the mighty have fallen. Like, Week 18 last year, we're talking about both these teams being top 5 in the league, both of them 14-2, squaring off in Detroit for the number 1 seed in the NFC, for the NFC North crown. And now we're talking about this on Christmas pretty much being a meaningless football game. Like the Vikings, if you want anything to root for, even though I'll be probably rooting for a loss, for the Vikings still can keep that 4th place schedule compared to a 3rd place schedule. But the Vikings could knock off the Lions on Christmas, and I will say, would be pretty funny if Max Brosmer eliminates the Lions from the postseason on Christmas Day. Vikings end up sweeping Detroit. So kind of win-win for Vikings fans. But it's crazy how last year's Sunday night, last game of the year, last game of the regular season, this was a marquee matchup. And I guess this year, like on paper, like Vikings-Lions on Christmas, like it was a great game because I'm sure the NFL was thinking like, okay, even if the Vikings are kind of a disaster with J.J. McCarthy, we will still assume that they are maybe in playoff contention for that Week 17 game, or hopefully they're trying to battle for that last wildcard spot. Maybe the Lions are battling for the top of the NFC North, so they're going to need this one. Now, the Lions do need this one, but it's still unlikely that they make the playoffs because they're going to have to win out, and the Packers are going to have to lose out. So I do understand, like, the process of the NFL. Like, even the Commanders-Cowboys game, like, I'm sure they were thinking, oh, the Commanders just went to the NFC title game. The Cowboys, like, they should have a good offense. Maybe they're battling for a wild card spot. Like, they thought that game on paper was going to be great. And same with this one. So I do kind of feel for the NFL. You just kind of got bad luck, especially Netflix did as well. But, hey, for our Vikings fans, and if you're fans of Snoop, D-O-double-G, Snoop Dogg, he'll be performing at halftime of this game. So that'll probably be the highlight of Christmas Day with the Christmas Day game of the Vikings and Lions. At least Snoop Dogg gets to perform at halftime, so that would be a lot of fun. But the one game I do feel bad for, I feel bad for Amazon Prime, because the first 2 games, Cowboys, Commanders, Vikings, Lions, they're on Netflix. But Amazon Prime still gets a Thursday night game, and they're going to be competing with Stranger Things. Now, I don't know if you guys are a Stranger Things fan. I am absolutely obsessed with this show. Their episodes drop at 7 or 8 o'clock, so right at the start of the Broncos-Chiefs game. And it's crazy to say, I'm pretty confident that I think Stranger Things is going to outview the Broncos-Chiefs game. I don't know if you guys have been watching Season 5. Episode 4 was an absolute banger. I'm fired up for it. I'll tell you what, my Christmas Day, even though we're going to have to come into the studio, we're going to have to work on that game, getting off and throwing on Stranger Things is going to be absolutely awesome. So I'm excited about that. But, hey, if you guys are a Stranger Things fan, what are you guys watching? You watching Stranger Things? Or are you guys watching the Broncos versus Chiefs game? Honestly, I don't even think this is close for me. I'm a sicko for the NFL. I will take NFL football any day of the week, even if it's a snoozer like Broncos versus Chiefs. Now, maybe if you're in the fantasy football championship, maybe you choose Broncos Chiefs, but man, I'm rolling with Stranger Things in this one. So you guys, let me know your thoughts down below. All right, we'll talk about the naughty or nice list for the Minnesota Vikings here in a second. But today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. It is the holiday season and the best time of year for sports. We got bowl games, basketball and football matchups, playoff pushes. It is all happening at once. And when you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right, and that is PrizePicks. Everyone's favorite PrizePicks holiday promotion is back. 7 days of Picksmas. PrizePicks is giving out 7 days of deals all the way through Christmas Day, including a Christmas Day max discount. Picksmas starts December 20th, so download the app today and unwrap those deals. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you guys get your picks right, you could cash in. So download the PrizePicks app today. Plug in that promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups. After you play your first $5 lineup, that is promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups. After you play your first $5 lineup, a massive shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. All right, so we're making a list and we're checking it twice here. We're going to be going through our naughty or nice list here for the Minnesota Vikings. The number one person, or actually number two, I'll say my number one on my nice list for the end of this, but Will Reichard, got to be on the nice list. Kind of got snubbed by the Pro Bowl. They gave it to Brandon Aubrey. Dylan's probably going to disagree with me. I think that's a media award. I think Will Reichard's better, but I mean, it's a kicker. Who really cares at the end of the day? But Will Reichard on the nice list. And you're going to start off the naughty list with Javon Hargrave for taking all of the money from the Minnesota Vikings this offseason. Hasn't lived up to it. So Javon Hargrave falls on the naughty list. And then how about Jalen Redmond? He can fall on the nice list for us. Jalen Redmond's had an awesome year. We know what he's about. Pro Bowl snub, in my opinion. Also, how about the Vikings being one of 3 teams to not have a Pro Bowler? The Vikings, the Jets, and the Saints. The fact that we're in that group is just so sad. But Jalen Redmond, he falls on the nice list. And then I'm actually going to put Jordan Addison on the naughty list. He's got the 3rd most drops in the NFL this season. He's had a bad year. Obviously, all the off-the-field stuff. So Santa will not be giving you any Christmas gifts this year. Jordan Addison. And another special teamer. How about Ryan Wright? He'll fall on the nice list. I'll tell you what, for a punter who's kind of on the hot seat heading into the season, he's kind of turned it around. Ryan Wright's been absolutely awesome this season. But Javon Hargrave's best friend, Jonathan Allen, got to put him on the naughty list too. Took a lot of money from the Minnesota Vikings, $60 million this offseason. Has not been living up to it. So Jonathan Allen on the naughty list. Then I will put a Vikings legend. Brian O'Neill, been the definition of consistency this season on the offensive line. The right tackle's been holding it down. So Brian O'Neill, you'll fall on the nice list for me. I will say, even though offensive line, inconsistent play, a lot of injuries, he's been absolutely awesome yet again for the Vikings up front. Now, probably the king of the naughty list for the Minnesota Vikings. You got to go Kwesi Adofo-Mensah here, right? It's the worst offseason in Vikings franchise history. This guy's been absolutely horrific, and it is just disappointing. That is, that's what happened. He's a terrible drafter. He's pretty bad in free agency, and he has just set this franchise back a couple of years. So, Kwesi, you're on the naughty list, and that's why I'm putting frickin' Sam Darnold on the nice list. I miss him. The guy, 12 wins already, 12-3, number 1 seed in the NFC, and the Vikings are starting. Think about this. We're starting Max Brosmer on Christmas. This guy's going to be the potential number 1 seed in the NFC. He just stuck it to us this season. So Sam Darnold, you get on the nice list. And Byron Murphy, I'm going to throw him on the naughty list here. Bad year for Byron Murphy. Had his first interception against the Giants. He's been getting cooked a lot, so he'll fall on the naughty list. Same with TJ Hawkinson. Just not the guy he used to be. It's okay. I mean, he's had a lot of major knee injuries. Someone put Hawk on the naughty list. And I'm going to keep Jefferson on the nice list. He has been battling through a lot this year. Bad quarterback play. And I think he's kept his emotions somewhat intact, at least better than what I expected for just how bad the Vikings quarterback room has been this season. And another guy that should be at the top of the naughty list, Chris Cupper, Vikings offensive line coach. He's horrific. We've seen guys like Ed Ingram, Garrett Bradbury leave the Vikings organization, have great years. Then the Vikings still are pretty inconsistent at the offensive line, but except for this guy, Donovan Jackson. He's actually been a pleasant surprise. First-round pick for the Vikes this year at Ohio State. Battled through that wrist injury, got surgery on it, but he's been playing some good football this season. And then obviously Kevin O'Connell, I think he deserves to go on the naughty list as well. This is refusal to change the offense for whoever's in at quarterback. And then, of course, like the Vikings going on this sick 3-game winning streak once you get eliminated from the playoffs. Like, it's just the most KOC shit of all time. But at the top of the nice list this season, if I had to give like one game ball to anybody on the Minnesota Vikings, it's got to be Brian Flores. I shouldn't say if I had to give one game ball. If I had to give one Christmas gift to anybody on the Vikings, I would go Brian Flores. I was between him and Will Reichard, but look, if I had to say Vikings fans, we got to keep one. Flores or Will Reichard. We're all saying Brian Flores. So he's at the top of the nice list, but hey, want to have some fun on today's show. Don't take this too serious, by the way. Like if you're a family member of Javon Hargrave or Jonathan Allen, just don't take this too serious. I would appreciate it. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, hit me with a skull down below in the comments section. We'll be live here Christmas Day for the Vikings-Lions game, so tune in then, and we'll get on out of here. Skull Vikes.